Our next stops are the Danube Gorge and Regensburg. As we descend from the Rhine-Danube Canal, we will leave our ship and board a smaller local tour boat for a trip through the historic and once troublesome Danube Gorge. Our ship will cruise to meet us in Regensburg. The Rhine River Gorge is cut through the Jura Mountains by the Danube River. It has created limestone cliffs and interesting formations. The area was a Celtic settlement in the 5th century under Roman rule. Its natural beauty, spectacular scenery, and critical river passage has been a lure for visitors, a challenge for rivermen, and a great seat of power. Kelheim was the first and favorite residence of King Ludwig I. The quiet beauty of a calm Danube is a great draw for swimmers, boaters, kayakers, and canoers. Access without a boat is difficult, greatly restricting use, but that remoteness and quiet is part of the charm. Above is Liberation Hall, built by King Ludwig I to commemorate German unification. Regensburg has a long and distinguished history. The 1,850-year-old Roman bridge has survived the ages and was once considered to be the 8th wonder of the world. The beautiful old city is dominated by the Dom Cathedral, with its two 344-foot towers of Gothic architecture. There is much to see and do in Regensburg. Avenues and byways of shopping, historic sites, and good restaurants to snack or dine in. Regensburg is not only a city of history and culture, but also of good Bavarian cuisine. The Old Sausage Kitchen is believed to be Germany's oldest restaurant. Most everyone agrees that it is also the best. And when you come here, there is nothing else to order. Your choices are, do you want 6, 8, or 12 sausages? Now this is special. Let's forget the calories and cholesterol for a minute. The flavor is just amazing. Our ship will dock in Passau. We'll bus on to Salzburg and then bus back to Linz to meet our ship. Passau is the last German city on the Danube River before it enters Austria. The river is broad and creates space for a good-sized port. Its strategic location at the junction of 3 rivers made it a center of trade. At its crossing point from Germany into Austria, the Danube is joined by 2 other rivers, the sturdy Inn from the south and Little Ilz from the north. The Inn, which gives its name to Innsbruck, is broader and bluer here than the Danube, and much more deserving of the Johann Strauss waltz, the Blue Danube. This point of land where the Danube and Inn rivers meet is a popular park area and great for clear views of marine traffic. Powerful prince-bishops rule from Passau, and the wealth of the merchants is reflected in the houses, shops, and public buildings. A reflection of the area's importance is seen in the St. Stephen's Cathedral. Its less than spectacular but historic exterior belies both its importance and remarkable interior. The main or high altar is highlighted by 10 side altars, hundreds of cherubs, numerous frescoes, and spiritual paintings. The most impressive feature of the cathedral is the world's largest church organ. 3 sections of the 5-part organ are easily seen in the spectacular Baroque naves. In 1928, they were joined to the main console in the West Gallery, from where all 5 can be played together. The entire organ includes 5 manuals, 231 registers, and 17,463 pipes. Within the cathedral courtyard is an inscribed history in the headstones of families, merchants, and royalty over a 1,000-year period. Our departure shows an impressive view of a city with a long and rich history. Both the Little Ilz River from the north and the Inn River joining from the southwest are a big part of that story. Salzburg is a bit of a detour. The bus trip south is a day-long excursion to the city of the sound of music. Its setting goes with the story. A beautifully clean and historic city with much to see and do. Old, well-maintained buildings attest to the wealth of the merchants, as do the numerous and costly signs indicating businesses. Transportation is readily available, as is good cuisine. Great countryside stop for lunch or dinner is the Chalet restaurant. The food is served smorgasbord or family style in sumptuous quantity, along with good music. It looks like Santa Claus has joined us for lunch today. Dessert pastries are an important part of the lifestyle here for many. Bakeries are well supported, and you'll see no signs posted that list the calories. Some of the sweets are in Mozart form and packaging. Local merchants know well the draw of this powerfully influential musician of history. His statue is here to honor him, and also a museum in the house where he was born. It seems like for much of the world, a more glamorized sound of music has become one of Salzburg's great attractions. The gazebo used in the popular film is a must stop, and one where everybody wants their picture taken. The church where Von Trapp and Maria were married is quite plain from the outside, but inside may be the most beautiful small church in Europe.
Which one?
Dinner aboard ship is in the Mozart tradition, complete with the fun-loving staff dressed to fit the occasion.
Thank you.
But then we want to see also what you feel.
Excuse me.
So I don't know where I'm going.
Linz, Austria, is a stop well worth the visit. A picturesque shoreline park adds a colorful accent to the spectacular museum and convention center. Its dark glass mirrors a broad courtyard used for special occasions. A city-side restaurant is popular with both locals and visitors. The city center is adjacent to the river and easily accessed by walkways and roads. The central plaza is of great local pride, both because of its historic importance and its central location, only 1 block from the Danube River. It's a fun place. Trams, children's play areas, shops, and outdoor restaurants. No great cathedral or hilltop palace, just a pleasant and colorful walk for a bit of shopping or sightseeing. You may not speak the language, but you'll understand most of what's going on. An evening stroll into the plaza is also worth the time. The plaza is softened and accented by the effective lighting and a full moon. It's the same plaza and the same shops, but the ambiance is remarkably different. The hustle and bustle is gone. People stroll leisurely about, dine, select a dessert, or lounge by a fountain. The museum building has changed its personality also. It slowly varies color in a 10-minute fade that transforms the structure and pleases everyone. Nighttime is splendid aboard ship. The top deck is a wonderful gathering place to see city lights reflecting off water and moonlight to complement the atmosphere. Our next stops are Melk, Durnstein and Vienna. Melk is a small city, outsized by its great Benedictine Abbey, or stiff. The gardens were developed to provide a pastoral setting for meditation for monks. An abbey is technically called a stiff if initially it was fully funded or gifted. The funds came from Leopold III in 1113. The term abbey is still proper and most often used. This is still an active stiff today, with 33 monks and a school with 860 students. The marble hall is the ballroom and dining room. The ceiling fresco was painted in 1731 by Paul Troger and depicts the composite of the time, a symbol of wisdom, and angels as symbols that abolished the forces of evil. Inside is a well-presented display of the monastery's history. An integral part was their search for knowledge and enlightenment. The library contains 100,000 volumes and 1,800 manuscripts from the 9th to the 18th century. A rare old copy of the Gutenberg Bible is a special treasure. The Melk Abbey Church was and is the religious heart of the abbey. The amount of gold gilding in square feet is extraordinary, but the amount of gold used was lessened by talented craftsmen. 1 gram of gold could be pounded out so thinly that it covered 2 square meters. In the Baroque period, the creation of a work of art was concerned with a concept, and they searched for ways to express it. The Melk Abbey Church was one such expression. The walk down from the Abbey through the town of Melk is a gradual descent on a single main street to the Danube River. The town is colorful, with much better prices in the shops than you'll find in larger cities. The Melk Abbey dominates the town and leaves a lasting impression. We return to our floating hotel and all its comforts. On board, the cruise continues with a special treat today, an ice cream social. We may be eating far too much, but this addition was most welcome, and before the ice cream could fully melt, most everyone had seconds. There's always room for more ice cream, and nuts, and cookies, and strawberry syrup. Durnstein is known for its grapes and wine, and the town is surrounded by vineyards. Whatever their history, their music is Austrian and fun. The town has all the charm of an ancient castle fortress, clean, imaginative, and enjoying a legendary moment in its past history and the tourism that goes with it. Durnstein is a small town with one great rush with history. The castle on the hill was where Richard the Lionheart was held captive towards the end of the Crusades until he was ransomed. It's all uphill to the castle, which deters many tourists. For the locals, however, young and old alike, it is just a stroll home. The castle sits high above the town, and only parts of the great ramparts remain. The road up is being repaired to transport tourists by tram, which runs periodically, but not today. The castle is in ruins, and virtually nothing has been done to restore it. The medieval dungeon where King Richard was held has long since disappeared. The walls, also in a sad state, still reveal the character of a fortress easy to defend, although it was eventually destroyed by the Swedes in 1641. If nothing else, the views are breathtaking. You'll see all of this and more on an AmaWaterways river cruise.